Hello my fiery friends, welcome to another fiery fun stream. I am your host the Infernoman here, and hopefully you're having a wonderful day wherever you are at. So, I'll be really honest with you, this deck originally was not something I had on my radar originally, but actually now that I looked back at it, we've actually managed to put together at least one deck in each of the mono colors ever since we had Tarkir Dragonstorm kind of debut on us. So I figured, you know what, let's complete the cycle. We, again, for those that haven't seen the other streams, I started with, it was a colorless Ugin deck, and then we did, was it a couple days ago, we did the mono red Sarkon deck. We did a Crater Hoof deck that was mono green, by the way. There was also the mono white, what was it, Elspeth deck, and then also we had a demon deck that was mono black. So I figured, you know what, we haven't done a mono blue deck, so yeah, let's go ahead, let's do that today. So that's where we're at. So without further ado, let's jump right into it and show you what exactly am I talking about. There we are. Awesome, 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 awesome. Okay, so this actually was a really intriguing card because I kind of originally wasn't planning on doing this one, but it's such a cool card to pull off here. So the card itself is going to be Taigam, Master Opportunist. So that's kind of what we're doing today. We're going to see if we can chain together a bunch of spells. So this way, the first one we can cast will, of course, be the normal one we cast. But the next one we cast will allow us to get a free copy, if you will. A cast one and get one free. So that's kind of how I placed it. Originally, I think I called the deck first off, It Takes Two, but I don't know, that seemed kind of boring. So I was like, you know, instead of calling it that, let's call it something a little bit more fun. I know it sounds kind of like a silly coupon, if you will, but hey, it works for me because that's where we're at today. Oh, welcome, Den Splendid. Good morning, my fiery friend. Hopefully you're having a wonderful day wherever you're at. You're just in time to see me gonna get our game plan going here. So, for those of you that are coming in right now, and those of you who are new to the channel, whether you're watching this live or if you're watching this on the replay, here's how we rock it. First, I'll go over the stats of the deck. Then we'll go over every single card in the actual main deck itself. We'll go over some brief moments of strategy. Then we're gonna play as many matches as possible in Arena and just kind of go from there. Once we get to about the halfway point, I am gonna see if we could try to play an upgraded version of the deck to show you how well it can perform if you actually want to put in a little bit more investment into it, if you do like what we played earlier. So let's go ahead, let's jump into the stats first off of the deck. So long-term viewers of the channel know, of course, how we do it. We have to talk about the stats of the deck before we dive right in. So our mono blue deck today is going to be, of course, a 2.5 on the average mana curve. We're going to be rocking 13 creatures, so it's a small amount because we're going to be spell slinging a ton today. 25 instants, 13 sorceries, 9 artifacts, 4 enchantments, 1 planeswalker, and 37 lands. Now, how exactly is this all going to work? Well, if you haven't seen already, because I don't think too many people were aware of this card's existence, because I haven't really seen anybody play it, but then I saw it and got, oh yeah, this actually looks hilariously fun and possibly even broken once you upgrade it. So, starting of course with our actual commander, it's going to be Taigam, Master Opportunist, a 2-mana, 2/2 human monk, legendary creature, and it has the Flurry ability. We'll talk about the Flurry ability, of course, once we get to a future deck tech regarding this ability from Jeskai. But for today, it says right here, when you cast your second spell each turn, copy it. Then exile the spell you cast with 4 time counters on it. If it doesn't have suspend, it gains suspend. For those of you that don't know how that mechanic works, suspend is basically a mechanic where a card or spell is exiled, and then of course as every turn goes by, time counters get removed from it. Once the final time counter is removed on the spell itself, you can cast the spell for free. So you're kind of paying the cost up front and then getting it back later on. But of course, his ability, and this is actually what makes the card super good, by the way, once you actually manage to get that spell back for free, then the next spell you cast also will trigger off his ability again. So this means, in theory, once you can start getting a couple of spells already suspended, they'll start chaining themselves together, and you'll just keep getting a bunch of spells suspended. You'll still get the, of course, cast the first copy, but then you'll get a chance to cast it again for free, and it just kind of just goes nuts from there. It's actually a hilarious deck once it does go off. So, of course, there's going to be a slightly broken way to play this card, but we'll talk about that, of course, once we get to the major upgrades. But otherwise, in order for us to get the most value out of it, we got to try to play as low to the curve as possible with what we have. So in the 1-drop slot, we're going to go over everything here because we have a ton of 1-drop spells. So starting off with Ether Spellbomb here, simple little artifact that can allow us to bounce something away or draw a card we need to in a pinch. An offer you can't refuse because we're going to be playing mono blue. We're going to have a ton of counter spells. Counter a non-creature spell, make some treasure tokens. Sometimes you can actually counter your own spell to then kind of give yourself some pseudo ramp. A null here just counters artifacts and enchantments. Symmetry Sage here has the Magecraft ability, which actually goes really, really well with the Flurry ability. So Magecraft, of course, can give all of our certain creatures we choose power 3 or greater. I'm sorry, just straight out power 3. I don't know why I said power 3 or greater. Anyway, it just gives them a pump until end of turn. Wizard class here, of course, just helps us just make sure we have a nice healthy hand. We don't have to throw away cards. Just pump this up, of course, we can start putting +1/+1 counters all in our stuff. Birthday Escape simply just helps us draw a card, and then the ring tempts us. We can get the ring abilities going on later on. Brainstorm here, oh man, this is actually a hilariously good card if we can just copy this. So Brainstorm to draw 3, put 2 cards back on top of our library, and of course in any order. Combat Research here, this aura can put onto a card. Once we deal combat damage with it, we can start drawing more cards. If we could put this maybe on Taigam, it gives it another extra little bit of pump and ward 1, so it gives it a little bit of extra protection. Consider here for more card draw and surveilling. Dispel here is going to counter instant spells. Fading Hope can here to just do a tempo play. We can either bounce away our creature, or we can use this to, of course, bounce away our opponent's stuff, and then scry if we need to, if they have a small mana curve to it. Hard Evidence here just simply makes us a 0/3 blue crab creature token and helps us investigate, so we get a little extra value out of this if we can get some extra copies. Into the Flood Maw here is actually a very, very powerful card for us and actually really good. You can either bounce away a creature, or if you gift the opponent a tapped fish, then of course you can then bounce a non-land permanent for 1 mana. Metamorphic Blast is a little bit of a misleading card here because it has the spray mechanic, but it is technically either a 2 or 4 mana spell, so you can either make some of your opponents sorry. You can either make your opponent's stuff White Rabbit, or you can just draw some cards. Omen Hawker here. This is mostly just going to help us just activate abilities, so we will have some abilities we want to activate later on, so it's going to be here for pseudo ramp. Opt here just helps us again draw a card and scry. Rapid Hybridization here, another great mono blue card here, can destroy a target creature for us, so this can help us just turn something that we don't want to deal with into a frog lizard. Shore Up here is going to be for protection purposes and also gives us a little bit of pump. Slip Out the Back, same thing, for extra protection and also some pump, and also the phasing out ability is great against mass exile effects. Unending Whisper here just helps us draw a card, and also we can use the Harmonize that mechanic to bring it back a little bit later on from the graveyard. Wash Away here is going to be another awesome counter spell for us to then just counter something away, and of course we can do it at 1 mana. Of course, if we say, like, it's great for, of course, countering commanders, if you will. Witness Protection can then turn anything we don't want to deal with here into a 1/1 legitimate business person, so that's actually hilarious for us. You see the Guard Approach here, another good tempo play here. We can either give one of our creatures protection with Hexproof, or tap down a target creature. We also have here Basilisk Caller here. The card of, since we're playing mono blue, we don't really have much in terms of life gain and drain, so this will help us, of course, give one of our creatures some Death Touch and Lifelink to help us stabilize in the mid game. Double Jerry Pie from YouTube there. What's good, dog? I'm delivering mail for the post office right now. Oh, okay. Having just running errands, I guess. Having a wonderful day, of course, wherever you're at. And again, just have some fun out there. Enjoy your day. I don't know if you're out and about. I guess, what would I say that? I guess I was trying to mix up my words there. I know you're out and about, but I mean, is that all you're doing today? Working? Off? Hopefully, either way, it's a good day for you. Okay, jumping now into the 2-drop slot here, kind of try to wrap this up here. Mentor's Guidance here, also great for us because at 2 mana we can either then we can scribe 1, draw a card. If we have a Warlock, Wizard, Shaman, Cleric, or Druid out, then this helps us, of course, get us some extra bonus because we can copy this. This actually would be hilarious if we can copy this even a 3rd time with Taigam, so just an extra FYI there. We'll have some more tempo plays for us with Blink of an Eye here. We can bounce back a non-land permanent. If we kick it, of course, we can then draw a card. Callous Dismissal, same thing. We can bounce back a non-land permanent and amass a zombie. Deduce here to help us draw a card and do some investigation by making a clue token. Distasteful Stroke is another counter spell here to counter anything that's mana 4 value or bigger. Lazotep Plating gives our entire team mass protection with Hexproof until end of turn and helps us again amass another zombie token. Negate here again for another counter spell for non-creature spells. Front of Recollection can help us bring back at least one of our instance or sorcery cards from our graveyard to our hand, and then we can then utilize it later on. Arcane Signet here is going to help us with some ramping, along with Environmental Science to help us dig out a basic land. Mindstone here is also going to be for ramping purposes, and Sapphire Medallion is going to be our most powerful of these ramp options because it can make all of our blue spells cost 1 less to cast. We may need to have Taigam get a little bit of protection, so we'll throw in Swiftfoot Boots here to make sure if we attach to him, it has Hexproof and Haste. High Spire Bellringer here actually makes all of our second spells we cast each turn cost 1 less to cast, so this is perfect for our deck. Hydroelectric Specimen here is a flash weird. It may seem like it's a little out of place in the deck, but hear me out. It's either a land in a pinch, or you can then utilize this to target an instant or sorcery spell to a different creature. Imprisoned in the Moon here also can then shut down a land or a planeswalker or a creature and turning it into a colorless land to make it lose all abilities. So this will help us, of course, just make sure something is locked out of the battlefield. Poppet Stitcher here can then give us a bunch of extra tokens here. So this is kind of like a secondary game plan to the deck. If we can't get Taigam to go off a couple of times here, we can then bring out a couple of other creatures that can create a bunch of tokens for us to help us go wide to give us a plan B to the deck. Poppet Stitcher is going to be one of them. If it flips into Poppet Factory, it gives all of our tokens 3/3, and also just kind of, I mean, they'll also have to lose their abilities, but that's a small price to pay once we get a bunch of tokens out. Raven Form here is going to be for spot removal here. It exiles an artifact or creature. We'll have Salinity Visions here, can either be a tap land in a pinch, or of course we can then use it to dig 6 cards deep to get an instant or sorcery card, which we'll definitely need for this deck. Solve the Equation here is one of our tutors here to help us dig out an instant or sorcery. We have Wingblade Discipline here. Anytime we cast our second spell each turn, we can create a bird token, so same thing, helps us with the go wide strategy. Narset, Part of Veils here, can then deny our opponent the ability to draw more than one card each turn, and also we can use its Planeswalker ability to dig 4 cards deep to get out a non-creature card. Refute here is going to be another one of our counter spells here, and then we get to draw a card, discard a card. Seek of the Super here, again, for more tempo plays here, we can bounce back at a spell or non-land permanent to an opponent controls to their hand, and also going to be a land in a pinch. You find the Villains there, also one of my favorite cards here. It's actually a really good one here. You can either counter a spell or then use it to then draw 2 cards and discard 2 cards. We'll need a little extra ramp, so we have Worn Power Stone here. It comes into play tapped, but of course we can then use it to tap down for 2 extra generic mana later on. Hold on, Terrible Jerry Pie. I'm walking around delivering mail. Oh, you're a Leto carry. Okay. So you are working right now. Okay. Well, hopefully, again, it's a pretty good day out. Hopefully the weather is looking good where you're at. Den Splinter, making more of 1 mythic-only Brawl decks. I guess next will be a Nightmare to deal with. Okay, I see what you're doing there. Let me know how that works out for you. They're actually pretty good decks, by the way. Actually, like hearing that you're actually making these really cool budget decks, by the way. Okay, so we're going to try to wrap it up here. We're in the 4-drop slot now. We have Etherize here. If our opponent has a bunch of go-wide strategies on us, we can use this to bounce back all of their attacking creatures to their hands. Homunculus Horde here. Whenever we draw a second card each turn, we can get to create a token that's a copy of this creature. So this can help us again with the go-wide strategy as a plan B. Along with Murmuring Mystic here, anytime we cast an instant or sorcery, we create a blue creature token. Archmage Eternus here has actually got the Magecraft ability, and it's great for us because anytime we cast or copy an instant or sorcery, we can draw a card. Talran Sky Summoner, a classic mainstay of mono blue here. So anytime we cast an instant or sorcery, we get to make a 2/2 blue gray, well, I cannot say words right now. 2/2 blue Drake creature token with flying. We have Solemn Simulacrum here, so our sad robot, of course, just helps us dig out a basic land, and we can use it to draw a card later on. Archmage of Ruins in the only 5-drop slot here. This giant wizard allows us to cast all of our instants or sorceries for 1 less, so it's actually great for us. And anytime we cast an instant or sorcery, we get to draw a card. Into the 6 and beyond slot, we'll have Commit/Memory here. We can use this as a tempo play to put a spell or non-land permanent from our opponent's casting and then put it back into their library, tucking it back in. Or we can use its 6-drop slide as the aftermath to then shuffle and then get a whole brand new hand. Ideally, you want to, of course, use the memory side once you have Narset out. So just FYI. Part the Water Veil here. So this is, of course, where things get really, really gnarly for us. We can't afford too many in the budget slot of these spells, but we're going to try to rock as many as we can. So honestly, we can only rock 2, but it still should be enough for us. So what I'm talking about, of course, is Part of the Water Veil and Alrund's Epiphany. As you kind of already can figure out, these are our extra turn spells. If you can get some extra turn spells, man, this is when the deck gets really crazy here. Just cast 1 spell and then cast 1 of your extra turn spells to get an extra turn. And then on top of that, copy it later on, so that way you can get another extra turn spell, and that just keeps the chain going of just kind of keeping everything under your control, basically. Finally, to wrap it up, it's going to be Hellbreaker Horror here. So this is, again, one of our great finishers here, because once this comes out, we can then just keep casting spells and then just bouncing our opponent's stuff away to, again, keep the board clear, and hopefully we can get to victory. And then finally, well, technically it is an 8-drop, but you, of course, are not going to cast this for 8 mana. It's going to be Treasure Cruise here. We can delve with its ability here to exile some spells from our graveyard to make the casting cost cheaper, and then draw 3 cards. Casting, of course, this with Taigam also gives us another free option to then draw 3 cards for free. So that's insane good value if we can get this to go off. Now, we are, of course, a budget deck, so we're going to try to keep this as cheap as possible. And, of course, don't worry, there's going to be a lot of good upgrades later on. But for now, we're going to be rocking with Hall of the Storm Giants, 31 Islands, a Mystic Sanctuary to hopefully bring back something later on. Seed of the Synod here is our artifact land. Arid Archway here to bounce something back, and then we can then use this for pseudo ramp. Demolition Field to take out a non-basic land we don't want to deal with, and then rounding out for Graveyard Hate, Scavenger Grounds. So that is the whole deck for you, everybody. So Whew, okay, as always, it's always a big amount of chatting to go through. But the whole idea, of course, of the deck is, as I mentioned earlier, Taigam will hopefully start chaining together some free spells for us that we can cast later on. And then as we do that, we'll then use everything we can to either ramp stuff out, we can make a bunch of tokens to help us go wide, and then overwhelm our opponent with the value we can get from this deck. So, is this going to be good? Is this going to be amazing? Or is this going to be terrible? Well, there's only one way to find out. So, let's go ahead, let's take this into the Brawl format. Let's get in as many games as we can with our deck, and let's see how well it does. Whew. All right, so has anybody actually played this card personally? I mean, I've only played it for a little while, and it seemed pretty fun, but I haven't seen that many people actually like work with this card specifically, or maybe in the 99 of another deck. I mean, either way, let's get this going right now, and let's see if we can pull off some victories here. All right, opponents.
It's time to do.
All right, so got 3 lands, got some good spells here. Okay, let's keep this hand. The tricky part is knowing when to get Taigam onto the battlefield. That's going to be probably our biggest thing we need to figure out now is like when do we want to pull him off. Get an island, and we'll pass. We ideally want to be able to get him out at a point where we know we can start chaining together spells. So at least 1 and 2 drop spells is what we want. Okay, opponent, Earthen Sequence, okay. So they'll get a fractal. Okay, that's fine. Yes, all right. Disdainful Stroke, that'll be helpful for later. So, we're going to throw out Taigam now. And then let's see if we can start chaining together spells. Hopefully we can pull this off here. We just need a few spells. Just a couple, and we can get that game plan going. Opponent, what do you got? Conclave Mentor. Alright, so they are definitely going to be a lot, well, I mean a lot of +1/+1 counters. Okay, so let's see how we do this here. Environmental Science. So this will help us, of course, get out our island. Need some life back. Consider. So here we go. First spell. Get 1 free. Alright. Okay, we'll definitely want to keep that land, though. So we'll consider, which doesn't seem like much, but that will come back later on. So you can see it's suspended right now. So that'll come back to us later on as a free spell. We want to try to start chaining together stuff now as fast as possible. We'll see if our opponent lets us do this, though, because they are going to get really big really quickly here. But we'll see if we can just get around them. All right, Rishkar here. Okay. Hamza, okay. Can we get through this? Man, an Aetherize right now would be so nice to have. See if we can get around it, though. At 23, so we still got a little bit of time. Not that much time, though, because those counters are going to get a little scary. Okay, so let's see. We'll play... Let's see how we do this here. Let's play the island. And we'll play... Gaslit Collar. And then we'll do it this way. Metamorphic Blast. Wait, hold on. Actually, this might not work for us here. Okay. Alright, so trying to think right here. If we put that as a 0/1, nah, that won't work, will it? Alright, I guess we'll do Poppet Stitcher then. So the only tricky part also about getting this all together is sequencing which cards you want out. Because also if you're going to get copies of tokens, that might be a thing too that helps you out, but you also want to make sure you can start building up a ton of stuff quickly. But I'll be honest, I haven't had a chance to play with him too much here. Definitely sounds great in paper. I mean, no pun intended there. But let's see. I don't know. Will this be enough? Because our opponent here is definitely getting really big, and they're swinging hard here. Ooh. Okay. Can we take this hit? Let's see. That's 11. 14. Okay. Oh, that's a lot there. Jeez. Okay. We're just gonna have to lose our Poppet Stitcher here, which is unfortunate. Because our opponent has something else that they got in hand. Any kind of trampling effect pretty much kills us. Okay. Opponents? Anything? Okay. Down to 8. I don't know if we're going to have enough time to get out the rest of our cards, but we'll try. Okay. So one of the biggest, you can kind of see the weakness of our deck is it's slow to start, but once we can get the ball rolling, it snowballs very quickly out of control. But the problem, of course, is if our opponents hit us harder and faster, we don't get a chance to do much of anything. But let's see. Alright. Okay. The suspend slowly is doing its thing, but I don't know if that's going to be enough now. So... like, we can draw 2. That might not be enough for us now. Okay. And then, oh, jeez, okay. Yeah. We're not getting that one off. It's fine, though. It's fine, everybody. It's okay. Just the first one. But you kind of at least got to see a little bit of what the deck is trying to do. So hopefully the next one, we will definitely do a little better here. Okay. Let's see. Hopefully we'll get a match where we can kind of set up and start chaining up stuff a little bit faster. But otherwise, while we're loading up the next match here, how is everyone doing out there today? Hopefully, again, you're having a great weekend. Wherever you're at, whatever you're up to. If you're working, or maybe you're just chilling at home. Let me know what is on your mind regarding things. All right, and then we have... okay, so we got an Aetherize. So in case our opponent goes wide here, and they will definitely go wide because they have Locust God. We'll keep this. What's my DA? Oh, favorite color in the game. I'm definitely a red player. If I had to pick though, I mean I do like red, but also at the same time, sometimes red feels like it's so polarizing as a color. Like for me, I do like the color and what the mechanics do because I'm definitely an aggro player. I like burn specs, and I also enjoy a lot of the stuff that it comes with it. But the problem, of course, with red is just sometimes it just feels. What I mean by polarizing is, it feels like it's either people hate red when it gets too aggressive, but then sometimes when it's not aggressive, it doesn't do anything. At least that's how it feels to be. All right, our opponent threw out a ton on their hand here, so let's put Taigam out early, and we'll see if we can start chaining together some small stuff. Okay, Locust God coming out now. All right, our opponent here is definitely ready to go, but we are ready for them. So here's how we do this. So we will deduce, draw a card, make a token, rapid hybridization. All right. You got a little too greedy there, opponents. So blow up their card there. They make a token, which is fine. We can deal with that. And then the rapid hybridization will come back later on. No attacks yet, because we just want Taigam to just survive. If I had also to pick a color combination, I actually also love... oh wow, okay. They already coming out again. So, no attacks. Okay. So suspending, that means we're going to have to get that out quick, though. So let's see. Arid Archway. Bounce back the island. And then we will Ether Spellbomb. We will... Okay, so this didn't quite work out how I wanted to, but that's okay. No attacks yet. We'll go. If our opponent starts going wide here, we can definitely start building up. We can then use the Aetherize to bounce everything back. Tense Planet. Looks like I made an Ashiok deck on a budget, accepting you to a duel later. I mean, if we could have time, we'll definitely see if we could try to, but we'll see. Let's see what our opponent tries to do here, though. Our opponents will definitely go wide with tokens, but if we can time this right, that Aetherize here that we have will definitely mess them up. You gotta be careful as to when, though. They draw 2. Alright. So, the game plan right now, so we can bounce. Okay, so they got the Evoke, okay. Opponents, they're definitely looking at our stuff, so they're probably trying to figure out when we're gonna do this, so. We'll bounce it back now. Opponents, Brain Surge, okay. They get a bunch of stuff copied, that's okay. Okay, they drew 4. That's a lot of triggers going off, though. It's a lot of tokens, which is, again, scary, but we can bounce away everything. Don't worry, everybody. It's coming. It's coming. Swing. Can't block yet. Okay. Bit of a hit there, but that's okay. We can still do this. Okay, rapid hybridization is going to be coming back soon. Put down the island. Let's see, and then, I think we can't really play anything else right now, so we're going to just have to just a swing. Okay. So, okay, opponent's still getting cheeky with Locust God, but that's okay. We're going to bounce away everything in just a second here. Because I know our opponent cannot resist the idea that they're going to try to keep doing their thing. Double Jerry Pie. I've never played Magic, but I play One Piece. Control Black is what I've been into. It's gotten its share of haters, as with most colors. I will say right now, it's only, I mean, so are you, I guess my question is, since if you play One Piece, like, if you're into Black, is it mostly, do you like just in general, just control decks? Do you like the idea of just blowing everything up and just kind of stopping your opponent from doing their thing? Let me know. Opponent swings here, so we will, of course, Etherize. There goes all their tokens. And then we will also tap down their creature. We can bounce that away. So that's out of the way. So we got another spell coming up eventually. That's now 1. So here's how we do this. We will Archmage Eternus. Shore up. Gives us a little bit of protection. We then get that going. Draw another card. All right. Down to 20. Okay. So we're at right now 9. Our opponent is still going to keep making tokens because that Locust God is going to be such a pain to get rid of, but we'll try. Let's see. Whoa. I cannot say that, by the way. Okay. So also from YouTube. Wojik. I can't say that. Was it Zek? That's Hellq? Huh? I'm very confused as to what you're saying, my fire friend. I do apologize for that. I can't really say your name. Double Jerry Pie. They play a character. I play a character that reduces its cost, and then they play something that removes based on cost. Okay, I see. Okay, so we got a rapid hybridization away something here. So I think it's gonna have to be. Oh, jeez. We gotta get rid of the Terror of the Peaks. That is gonna be a problem for us. We did draw a card though, so that's good. Perforos is also down. And then... okay, we can't do anything with that. Wow. Dang. Alright. Well, we started kind of getting off there, at least what we're doing there, so kind of came close, but that's okay. Alright, it's fine. It's fine, everyone. We'll try again. Let's see if we can try to get this going. So again, little by little, you can see the deck is going to do its thing, but we just need to find maybe the right matchup for us. Dang. Opponents are making faster tokens than we can. But again, this is a budget deck, so, I mean, it's, I think, 15, 16 rares in Arena, and it's going to cost you, if you wanted to put this together on paper, about $65. So I would say a little bit more than a regular precon for any kind of commander deck. But don't worry, the upgraded version will get a little bit more crazier once we get to that point. Okay, so yeah, so you're into... so you're into an interesting kind of combo there, Double Jerry Pie. I haven't played the One Piece trading card game, so I can't really speak on too much about what that is, how it looks. It looks fun. I just wish I had more money to actually buy the cards and play it out, just for a little bit. It definitely seems like it's fun. Have you been playing the game since the beginning? Let's see, a Johnny coming down. Okay. Ugh. Okay, so our opponent is going to be making cap token there. They're playing Brea, though. Huh. I wasn't expecting a Johnny with an Abrea deck. Interesting. I have no idea what our opponent's trying to do here, but okay. We'll see if we can try to get around their shenanigans. All right, Taigam coming down again. We want to start chaining spells together ASAP. Okay, until then, I think we can brainstorm into hard evidence, and we can then start chaining off stuff like that. Opponent swings. No blocks, because also we don't want a Johnny to flip, so we're going to have to wait on that for a second here. Wojciech, don't worry, my man. It's difficult name in Polish. HellQ is ranked in Brawl. Is ranked Brawl, I was told. Oh, okay. Well, thank you for that clarification. I do apologize again early on, because, yeah, it's a little tricky for me. I mean, being an American who has a hard time with other words, so blame that, if you will. Any case, okay, so let's see here. How do we do this here? We'll play hard evidence. So we'll make our crab token. And then from here, we can then... Let's see. We won't foretell just yet. We'll brainstorm, though. So this gives us a ton of card draw. And we'll get to kind of fix ourselves here how we want. All right, they let us do it. So we'll brainstorm for one, and then this will get suspended so we can get that back later on. So this would be good for us. All right, in the meantime here, let's just put back 2 cards here. We don't need the Etherize just yet, so we'll solve the equation there first. No attacks yet from us. We just want to make sure that Taigam doesn't get a combat trick on him. We'll see. Ephemerate. Okay, so we need to dispel that. So we're not having our opponent do some shenanigans there. No, opponents. Too bad. Okay. Double Jerry Pie. I've been playing since 7th edition, and we're going into set 7, and we're going into set 11 in a month or so. So there's also a free sim online if you're interested in trying out without paying. Interesting. I mean, again, I am a fan of One Piece, by the way. I do love the series at all. It's actually one of the best out there. But yeah, maybe I might look into that in the future. And that's something also I've been trying to think about doing for future Patreon content, is Patreon content that involves other trading card games. So at least this way, for those of you that are interested in checking out other games I play, that'll be put again for those that want to check me out there. If you haven't seen already, the Patreon link, of course, is going to be scattered throughout the chat itself. So that'll be popping up here and there. But of course, that's not an obligation to anybody here. I still appreciate any and all support from those of you that are just simply watching the content. All right, so we will tap one there, because we're going to bounce back this with Erich Archway, because the island comes back. Okay, so that means we got 3 mana open. And then how do we want to do this here? So let us foretell for now. Okay, and then we will pass here. So the way I'm looking at it right now is we can Raven form away a Johnny after we consider, so we can bounce that away and start doing our thing. At least that's how I look at it right now. Opponents? What else you got, though? Oh, they got the Get Lost. Okay. All right. Dang. So that means we won't be able to bounce anything for a little while. Of course, we'll put that back into our thing there. So this means we might have to change our strategy here a smidge. We'll see. Undercity Sewers. One of the hardest parts about playing a mono blue deck is we don't have any hard removal all too often. I mean, we get a couple spells like Raven Form and whatnot, but most often than not, we don't have anything major that'll stop our opponent if they start doing some crazy stuff. So we got to wait it out for a little bit. Excuse me. Opponents. They swinging. Our one little crab here will block their token. So with that, I guess we'll just consider now. We need to start getting more stuff going here. Okay. The Suspend is working with Brainstorm, so that is going to come back to us. So at least we have one spell that's going to go off soon. But our opponent here still has a small edge against us. So here's how we do this. We will Raven form away the Brea. So they get a token out of that, but that's okay. We can afford that later on. Then Splendid, up to 8 rare wild cards and 3 mythic rares. Also add more uncommon and cards improvement for my deck. Okay, so I forgot to ask, like, what color combination? You said it was just mono black, right? Or was I mistaken? Okay, so if our opponent swings here, this is going to be hilarious here. We got the Ether Eye, so say goodbye to all the tokens. Jeez, they actually have a Teferi's Protection. Oh, come on! Really? Wow. Well, we got and caught a little messed up there, but it's fine, I suppose. Okay. It's okay, we're going to bounce back from this, everybody. So instead, we'll draw a card. Taigam will at least trigger off this, so we can draw one. We can then map token here, Taigam. We get another land. Okay, we get a treasure cruise. That's great for us. We'll hold off on that. Dang, our opponent actually had the Teferi's Protection. It was the one card that actually kind of messed us up there. Mardu Siegebreaker. Okay, so they exile. And that means they're going to swing. They do. All right, that's fine. We make another token.
I will prove my worth to my pride.
Block that token and block this token and go from there. Down to 15. All right. Opponent is starting to build up their momentum. Blind Obedience, okay. So here's how we do this. So Unending Whisper, Brainstorm now comes back to us. So we get to cast that for free. So this is actually nice. And then we have to put 2 cards back. So put back both islands. That's fine. Draw that island again. Play the island. Okay, so here's how we do this. Here, we need... Okay. Let's see, how many do we have? 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. I think this might be the solve the equation turn. So, we now get to at least dig 1 card, and then we put the solve the equation to get back things later on. So until then, what do we want right now? 4 mana open. We need to survive a turn. Get the Alrund's Epiphany. And then from there, we'll just wait it out. Okay. So, we still got stuff suspended right now. Again, it's a slow kind of deck because we were trying to build the value that will start chaining off a ton of stuff for free. Okay. Oh, you're talking about your Dimir Ashiok. Okay. So it is Dimir colors. Okay. Sorry if I missed that earlier. All right. Opponents swinging still. They're going to keep making the Johnny tokens. So they're going to keep making these annoying little things. But that's okay. Little by little, we're going to try to just keep fighting our way around it because we don't really have much of a choice here. Our opponent is slowly getting their value. Opponent. Solitude. Do they hit Extort? They do. But, thankfully, we also have a counterspell, so... Phew! Okay. Buys us time, little by little, down to 5. Ugh. Suspending stuff keeps doing its thing. Okay, see the sign on. Okay. So here's how we do this. We need to start chaining together things here. So we will delve 4, 5, 6. All right. Oh wait, we can get one more. Okay, there we go. Nice. Okay, so draw 3 cards, and then from there we can play the Alrund's Epiphany. Wait, can we not? Oh, man, we don't have enough. Oh, jeez. All right, so change of plans then. Did not count correctly, everybody. Okay. We will then, I guess, exile that. Turn off the chicken. Foretell that. Map token. So at least this now gives it a little bit of power. Homunculus Horde, that'll be good for later. Okay, so Siegebreaker is locked out now, along with a Johnny, so that helps us out a bit there. Double Jerry Par. The One Piece decks are built around a leader you pick. Okay, so kind of like Commander, I guess. Each leader has 1 or 2 colors. Each leader also has a unique effect that changes your game plan. Interesting. Okay. Huh. Good to know. But what's not good to know right now is our opponent is... Yeah, they got us. Dang. All right, don't worry, everybody. I know the deck doesn't seem like it's doing much. but it can at least do its thing. We just need to find the right matchup, though. All right. Well, I mean, you can see, again, it does do its thing. We do manage to start building up a ton of suspense stuff, but we need a little bit more to kind of bide our time until our opponent tries to think they have the edge on us. But man, just that Teferi's protection screwed us over there so hard. Okay. It's okay, everybody. We will get a win today. We will get some wins. Do not worry. I'm not going to try to make myself look like the worst player. Oh, wait. Did you just say chicken jockey? Okay. Maybe I'm an old person here. I don't get it to a degree. I don't know. Maybe do you understand it, Dense Planets? I mean, yes, I know of Minecraft. I was there when it first was created, but I was just like, yeah, not for me. This is not really my game. But greatly underestimated how crazy it took off. But seeing that game when it originally came out, when it was so whatever, and seeing how crazily powerful of an empire it built, it's kind of mind-blowing when you think about it. All right, so before I hand, okay, so we got 3 islands, got the wash away, deduce. Okay, we'll keep this hand. Looks pretty good. Okay, we're dealing with Roxanne here, so I actually have wanted to play with this card, but I haven't had a chance to do so. We might have to reevaluate things in the future and kind of go back to some cards that I have yet to actually play with. Hopefully in the future, though. Hopefully in the future. But yes. Actually, can anybody explain that to me? I don't get the whole meme with it, if you will. Well, we kind of figure that out. We'll put down Sapphire Medallion, so this will make everything we have cheaper, which is great for us. Hopefully we can start going off here. All right, opponent. Charming Scoundrel, okay. So what do they make? Make treasures, okay. So they are kind of ramping up here. They swing, down to 23. All right, so... Okay, High Spire Bell Ringer, okay. And then we will play Deduce. Draw a card, make a token. All right, so let's see here. How do we do this? Okay. I think we can go Taigam. This will cheapen Murmuring Mystic, which should be enough to then get both cards out, and then we can start getting a bunch of tokens going. Magda, okay. Opponents. But we have to also keep mana open because Roxanne's going to be coming down quick. Island. Okay, so here's how we do this. Taigam, coming down. Murmuring Mystic. Make a copy of it. There we go. Okay, so with that, I guess we'll swing for 1. Down to 24, opponents. All right, we're coming for you, opponents. We're coming. Okay, do they do their thing here? I'm expecting Roxanne to come down quick, because let's see, they got 3 treasures and 2 lands. Is she going to get cast? Okay. Too bad, opponents. That's why we have the wash away. There we go. Denied. Oh, opponent. Oh, okay. So they got their commander countered and they didn't want to deal with us anymore. All right. I mean, it is a win, so hey, victory. We were about to go off there too because we had everything we needed to just start making tokens. Oh, well. But again, you get to see it, everybody. Wasn't a suspend win, but I will take the win. Victory is ours. All right, so get our first win of the day, which is nice. Dense Planets also made an uncommon Elspeth Brawl deck as well. Well, that sounds awesome. You're really on a roll right now with making a bunch of budget decks, so that's actually really good to hear. But don't worry, for those of you that haven't seen already, I made an entire series, and I'm probably going to do one giant marathon video at some point. Or I might maybe make that as an ongoing, like, I don't know, loop of just ultra budget decks. I am, of course, planning on doing an entire new series of ultra budget decks of uncommons and commons only for the Brawl / Commander format. So that's coming soon. I just need a little bit more time to kind of build those decks because those ones, they take a little bit longer to build than normal 60 card decks. But it is coming. All right, Plains. What's your opponent playing? Oh, jeez, I hate this card so much right now. Okay, so for those of you who haven't seen, from the last stream, Just terrible card, by the way. Lom Storm Crane Elder here is an alchemy card, so already we don't like that. But the reason why this card is so broken is, and I can't believe they actually made this. So the card itself, this will conjure up Monastery Mentors, which in turn will also make Monk creature tokens with prowess. So it just goes out of control if you allow it to go off. So something that we're going to have to be very careful with fighting with soon. Oh, jeez. I still can't believe they made this card. All right, so now they're going to start getting an incredible amount of pump with their tokens here. But we'll see. I don't know if we can try to get around this, but I will try my hardest. So, okay. Warm Power Stone first off. So we can get our ramp going quick. Also going against Immortal Sun. So, oh. Ew. That sounds really bad. Hopefully you can get around that, Dunsplanet. I mean, hopefully you packed some kind of bounce effect or a counter spell or something to hopefully get around that. I just hope it works out for you. Okay, they have the Arid Archway, so we're going to bounce that back. We need a counter spell quick. That's what we need right now. Alright, so in that case, Island. High Spire Bellringer. And then here we go. So we'll Brainstorm first off here. Okay. Draw 3. Oh, wow, it's all lands. Ugh. Okay. That's fine, though. We can make it work. So in that case, then, we will put back these two. Doesn't really matter with the order right now. And then, let's see here. I guess we'll have the Callous Dismissal things here now. What do we want to bounce back, though? Bounce back the Goldbane pick. Take a token. We swing again. Down to 21. Okay, so... Alright. Here comes the value. This is where it gets stupid. So if they start getting free spells, that's when this card gets really, really annoying, by the way. Okay, so in other words, we need to... How do we do this here? I think... We'll swing here to see what they do. If they do anything. Opponents? Do you block? Come on, opponent, block. Aha! Alright, so we get to do this after all, so... Turn that into a 1-1. Shore up. We gotta keep the field clear as much as possible here. Okay, commander down for now, so... Phew, that buys us time. That buys us time. Unfortunately, though, we're also out of action, though. So, ugh. Okay. We just need some card draw. If we can get some card draw going, we should be okay. We also got a Warm Power Stone. Okay. Come on, deck. I know we have another land coming up, but hopefully after that, we should be good to go. Goldbane pick. All right. Redeploying. Okay. Spells are coming down. I guess all we can do here is just attack, so down to 17. Okay, so game plan is we have plenty of mana right now. We just need to start chaining spells together and we should be fine. If we get at least maybe, I don't know, maybe like an extra turn spell, we should be good. That would be really nice for us right now. Opponents got, let's see, they got 1, 2. They can technically cast Llama again if they really wanted to. Or maybe they think we actually have another spell in hand. I don't know. Okay, so it is coming down. Do they have another cheap spell? Because that prowess ability is just ridiculous. Springleaf Drum. There we go. This is such an insanely hard commander to deal with. Like, literally, like, there's nothing really can really do. Even if they bounce it back, they just keep making these stupid copies over and over again. But okay, we will try to get around it as best we can. All right, opponents. What else you got? I mean, they can't really... Okay, so they do equip. And it's our turn. Okay. So, Suspend still doing its thing. One more turn. Oh, jeez. We're not getting anything right now. Ugh. Looking pretty bad here. No attacks. We'll wait. Okay. If our this is the our this might be the turn our opponent just blows up here. They got Mondrak, so all right, we're looking really, really bad here now. Really, really bad. Yeah, anything else, opponents? Anything else? Still got technically 1, 2, 3. They got 4 mana opens. They got plenty of mana to work with here. That's fun. Oh, you won. And my opponent is sulking and taking his time. Oh, they're probably really salty. But honestly, though, jeez. All right. All right, here come the tokens. They destroy our mana rock. I mean, we have plenty of mana, so that's not a problem for us anyway. We just need something here. Just anything to go off. They swing with just 2 cards. Can't do anything yet, so we're just going to take the damage. An extra turn spell, Etherize, anything that can bounce this away would help us out. So, come on, deck. Give me something good. Okay, opponents. While our opponent is taking their time to figure things out here, because they also made some treasures, again, for those of you that do like any of the content that we do, please like, follow, and subscribe wherever you watch the content so you don't miss on any of the gameplay, booster pack updates, deck techs, and so much more. While our opponent, of course, is being absolutely terrible here. I can't believe, look at how broken this card is. Seriously, though. If you do like what you do, you can also help us out by checking us out, of course, by joining our Discord. We have Patreon, of course, where you can spend, only $3 a month to get you access to everything that I have. Even some of the stuff that may not be necessarily Magic related, it's all there. Okay, Island, and then, okay. Put 2 cards back. Well, I guess it doesn't really matter because we're going to get them back in just a second here anyway. Okay, so we draw a card. And draw a card, so we get them back anyway. Thank you, opponent. Okay, so it does feel like too little too late at this point, but here's how we do this. So, Arcane Signets. We get to copy. It's on the field. Murmuring Mystic. Coming down. And then a Witness Protection turns off Lom, but it's just too late. Even with this on here, it's way too little too late. Because it shuts them down completely, but our opponent already has everything they need. So, the best we can do is just sponge a hit or 2. That's literally all we can do. That's when the same opponent playing that Alchemy garbage and Immortal Sun, and I still won with just commons and uncommons. Well, that's great. I'm happy to hear that you got that. But honestly, yeah, let's be real here. Again, you have good colors also, because black and... what is it? Black and blue? Those are good combos. You have great removal, and you have access to counter spells and tempo plays, so that is pretty nice. Our opponent here with mono white still finding a way to get around this. All right. Throw to the consoles. Okay. I think we're cooked at this point, so I'm just going to stop. I can't believe still, like, there's no restrictions on this card, by the way. Because look at this. Again, I don't want to rant about this card, but they really need to change this now. Because look at this. There's no restrictions as long as you can keep chaining together non-creature spells. This card goes absolutely bananas, out of control. This really, again, was a horrible mistake design-wise. I don't know why they made this card. Disgusting, by the way. I know. I usually don't like to complain too much about that, but if you play against this card as you saw right here, it's not fun. Like, there's not really much you can do once it just goes off. But again, that's just... I don't know if I'm making a huge deal out of this. I mean, if anybody played against this card, let me know how you feel about that card overall. Be honest with me. All right, so we're going to get one more match in with the budget deck, and then from here, we're going to then just go to the upgraded version, because this deck can do stuff, sort of, but I feel like this is one of those decks where you really want to invest to get the most value out of it, and which is what we're planning on doing after this match. Okay, so at the halfway point as we're approaching it right now, so we'll see what we can do. Hopefully, we can get at least one more win here and now with this deck. Our opponent is playing Brewback, so they're going to mill us out like crazy, aren't they? All right. Well, we'll see if we can get around the mill. Mono blue versus mono blue, everybody. We will try. Here comes the milling. Mill, mill, mill. All right, we will island down. Taigam. Okay, so from here, we just start casting things here. Okay, we got the Sparrow Orb. No one's swinging. Okay, they start milling us. Okay. Sea of the Synod. We will play Symmetry Sage. We swing. Does our opponent block? They do. Too bad, opponents. Pump up our creature here. There we go. Thank you, opponents. So at least the crab is gone. And we will get that annulled. That'll actually be good for later. Okay. Phew. Crab is gone. So at least they won't get free mill out of that for now. So that does buy us again time. But we need to get more counter spells going. So here comes Bruvok. Alright. The suspend mechanic is doing its thing. But, ugh. Not good here. Okay, Wingblade Disciple. No attacks. Opponents. They also have the Persistent Petitioner plan in here. That's kind of interesting. Okay. Can we get around this? Oh, K-Wall MTG over on Instagram saying, I wish I still had my account. What happened to your account? Do you not have it anymore? Did you lose it? What happened there, buddy? Okay, so we'll still trying to do our thing here, but Bruvok is going to be very hard for us to deal with all the milling. Because we're not a super aggro deck, but we're going to try. Sapphire Medallion. Homunculus Horde. So we get to make a token copy of it, and make a bird token. Okay. Slowly we're making value here. But yeah, K-Wall, let me know if you can. What happened? Persistent Petitioners are coming down. Maybe we might get there with a token win. Our opponent here is not making this easy. Let's see. Oh, I forgot to mention, mine was Elspeth deck, not Ashen. Oh, okay, so you played the Elspeth deck with the restrictions. Okay. Good to know, by the way. Okay, so I was not aware of that. So I appreciate that. Thanks for the clarification. So let's see. Archmage Eternus. Hold on, let's see. Phase that out. We're doing this right now just to get the card draw going. Power 3. Alright, get the card. And then we get the power here. Get another card draw. Alright. We swing. Okay, so we are getting kind of our token plan going here, which is nice. Now we're down to 12. Can we get there, though? This is going to get really bad here. But we're going to try. Okay, we're actually pretty close on going off here. Okay, so we lose. Ooh, that's a big chunk there. Ugh. So close to a victory here. I think we can pull this off, though. Let's see. Okay. K-Wall replying, I had too much other stuff going on with my life. I ran a black and green elf deck. Oh, okay, okay. Well, hopefully, again, things get better for you, if they haven't already. Oh, jeez. This might be it for us. We're going to try as best as we can. So our opponent here is... Ugh, that mill really hurts, by the way. Okay, so we get to at least play this suspended for free. And then from here, Wingblade Disciple gets a pump. We will... I guess we'll draw that, so that helps us out a little bit here. There we go. Look at that. Look at all those tokens. Okay. Ooh, okay. So that helps us out a bit here. Let's see. Actually, hold on. I want to make sure we can do this correctly here. Oh, actually, I have something dirtier I can do here. The memory. This resets the whole game plan for us. There we go. There we go. I think we got the win here. I think we got it. Shuffle everything back in. We reset their whole mill plan. And then with the fading hope. Say goodbye, Bruvok. Denied. Oh man, this is too good here. Bounced away. We swing. I can't believe we pulled that off. Oh man, that was too good. That was great. The best way to counter a mill deck completely there. Oh man, okay. That was beautiful. Woo! Okay. I thought we were completely done right there. But we got them with the tech win there of just reshuffling our whole library back into everything. That was great. Oh man. We gotta highlight that one for later on. Definitely gotta highlight that one. Okay. Whew. Okay, now that was a really good win. That was a satisfying one. That definitely felt like the deck finally got to do its thing without getting completely cheesed out, by the way. Okay, so we're at the halfway point of the stream. Let's go ahead. Let's actually now cover the upgraded version of the deck. And we'll see what exactly we're trying to bring in to make it much more stronger than it currently is. Okay, well, MTG, I'm still pretty busy, hence I don't use my account anymore. Okay, well, sorry to hear that, but that's okay, my friend. You're still here, but I do appreciate you stopping by even for a little bit, even if you're not, like, super active anymore. I still am happy to see you still doing okay, though. So, with that, circling back over now to the upgrades, let's now talk about what are we doing now to make this deck a little bit more stronger. So here's how we do this. So as you might have guessed, we're a little bit lacking in certain areas when it comes to kind of chaining stuff together here. So we definitely want some more powerful stuff to kind of help us out here. So not much else will change in the one-drop slot. We do have a couple of much more powerful token options here. So we have Storm Chaser's talent here. We're going to be using 3 Steps Ahead as a much more flexible counter spell for us and card draw effect. We're going to be utilizing in the 2-drop slot here a couple of other things like Cyclonic Rift. This can also help us out because, as you saw, we get overrun with go wide strategies. So this can bounce away everything our opponent does, which is great for us. We'll use Prof's Edict Memory here. So this gives us at least another great option here to then just pump up one of our creatures. So it kind of fixes one of our problems we had, which was we don't really have much power when it comes to swinging. So this will help us out a bit there. We'll also, of course, throw in Mana Drain, as always, and Counterspell. So these, of course, are essentials if we're going to upgrade. In terms of anything in the 3-drop slot that we're going to try to upgrade into, we'll also add in a new mana rock, so we have Midnight Clock for us. So this also kind of helps us solve the plan you saw with the milling, so this can help us out a little bit there. In terms of, again, if you want to get super dirty here, we're going to throw in Ristic Studies. I know, some people don't like this card, but at least for us today, we're going to just go all out. We have to then try to just play to our advantage as much as possible. In terms of other upgrades that we can utilize in this slot here, we'll also have Archmage's Charm here, a better 3-mana counterspell here can also help us draw cards, and also steal maybe a non-land permanent, like maybe a Mana Rock for us. In terms of the 4-drop slot, not much else really is going to change here. We will throw in a single copy of God Eternal Kefnet, so this will actually kind of go really hand in hand with our kind of cheapening things, casting things for a much cheaper cost, and just make things overall better for us. And of course, for more card draw action here, we'll throw in the One Ring. Again, I know some of you don't like this, but again, it is powerful, and we have to throw it into the deck just to give us a much more needed power boost, along with Primal Amulet here. This will make all of our instant sorceries cost 1 less to cast. If we flip it, then we can use this to copy even more stuff, which is hilarious if we manage to get one of our extra turn spells. Speaking of extra turn spells, by the way, that's of course we're going to try to also throw in as much as possible. I unfortunately cannot afford every extra turn spell in Arena, so I just work with what I got. So we have Temporal Manipulation and Time Warp. These are really, really good ones, and they're only 5 mana, so this is actually really good for us to cast, of course. Keep the Commit to Memory. We'll keep the Alred's Epiphany, keep Hellbreak Horror here, and we'll keep, of course, Treasure Cruise. As far as upgrading the mana base here, besides our Hall of the Storm Giants, we'll trim down a couple of islands here. We'll throw in now Otawara, Soaring City. We'll throw in a Rivendell here for some scry action here. And then we'll throw in a Blast Zone here. This is going to be helpful against giving us at least somewhat of a pseudo-wrath for the deck. And then we'll also throw in Fountain Ports since we'll have plenty of tokens, so we can use those to draw more cards. But otherwise, that's the whole upgrade for you, everybody. Can this do better than the other one? Well, there's only one way to find out. So let's take this really awesome souped up version of the deck and see if maybe we can get some extra turn spells. I would love to chain at least one extra turn spell on stream today before we are done. But we'll see. We'll try, everybody. Okay, well, MTG over on Instagram, it's fun to watch a blue deck. I mean, I'll be honest, like, I'm not too fond of mono blue by itself, but there are at least some decks out there that I look and go, hey, this actually looks like fun. Like for me, I do like the token strategy that we have, and also I kind of like the idea of chaining together cards to kind of get kind of like a pseudo combo of free spells. It is definitely satisfying when it goes off, but as you kind of see, it can get a little clunky if you don't have everything set up. Personally, though, I think this might be better as an actual commander deck, not a brawl deck, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes once we get to the wrap-up. Once we're done with that wrap-up, by the way, everybody, we'll definitely kind of talk about stuff a little bit more. See how we feel about the deck. But overall, we're at the halfway point now, so let me know, everybody. Do you like what you're seeing so far? Did you enjoy the... Oh, opponent's playing more alchemy nonsense. Heisting? Come on, opponents. Dirty. Dirty. I hate alchemy cards. Okay. All right, sorry. No more negativity. We're going to just try to work with what we got here. So, with that, hit ourselves with 3. That's fine. Arcane Signet. Just getting our ramp on right now. That's all we're trying to do. Opponent, what else you got? Jeez. Okay, I don't know if you're still there against Splendid, but this definitely feels like this would be something you would do. Stealing cards from us. Not cool, bro. Not cool. They took our One Ring, which we really could have used, by the way, but it's okay. Alright, I guess we're just going to have to wait it out here. Whatever our opponent is going to try to do here, they're just going to now just try to get around us. Oh, we got the Ristic Study. Okay, well, that's good for us. This helps us out a bunch. So anything our opponent does now, they're just going to have to start paying for stuff. So that's why we threw in Ristic Study. Can you imagine if we actually tried to copy a Ristic Study? That'd be so dirty. Okay, opponent. Well, you got 4 mana. Ether Spark. All right. Guess we'll draw a card. Okay, so now we're going to get some good value here. Ether Spark doesn't really get a chance to do much of anything because there's no creature. So that's good for us, at least for now. Opponents? They tick up. Okay, so with that, Demolition Field. A Taigam. And can't really do much of anything, so we can't really chain stuff together. We'll just wait. Maybe we can chain together a couple of counter spells. That might be helpful. Opponents? I know you want to swing opponents. You want to put something down, don't you? Something big. Explore the Vastlands. Okay, so... Okay, hold on. Do we want to counter this? Here's how we do this. I'll give them some free treasures, but let's see if they actually take the bait. Opponents? They tick up. Anything else, opponents? Come on, take the bait. Come on, take the bait. Aw, opponents. Dang, I was hoping I was going to be able to bounce something there. Okay, that's fine, though. Ether Spark. Gets hit. Okay. I guess our opponent is going to just try to start chaining together, like, stealing stuff and whatever. Okay, here comes Shieldred. So, do they pay? They do. Okay, wow. So, Disdainful Stroke. Sorry, opponents. Shieldred's not going to get onto the battlefield. Not no way, not no how. As long as I have counter spells, we should be fine, everybody. Okay, they tick up again. Do they play anything else? They have 2 treasures that I gave them, so... Opponent, you don't want anything to do with that? Oh, opponents. Okay. Well, in that case, then, I guess this is now the turn. Alright, there we go. Start chaining together those spells, everybody. That's what we came here for. Okay. Witness Protection. That will be helpful for later. So in the meantime, let us... Birthday Escape. Draw another card. The ring tempts us. We will then... Huh, okay. Now we're gonna have to wait for a bit here. It's tempting still to... I know it's not the most exciting thing right now, everybody, but it's tempting to do more here. But we want to make sure that we have mana open to counterspell something that we want to deal with. That's what we're trying to do here. If our opponent has stuff, we can still get around it. Opponent's got 3 cards in hand, though. Anything else, opponents? Anything? Steaming aspirant, alright. Do we want that to... I guess we'll let that go for now. Because we can then do some stuff here. Okay, so here's how we do this. So, Cyclonic... Okay, hold on. Fading Hope. Bounce that away. We don't need the Fountain for now. So, Cyclonic Rift. And we will bounce away... Arcane Signet. Sorry, opponents. So Cyclonic Rift will now get bounced away. Defenseman. It's kind of interesting most of my uncommon Brawl decks have Planeswalkers as commandos, just for your interest. I mean, that is interesting. Because I can see where the power is, and they actually are much more effective in Brawl when it's 1v1. Okay, so we're kind of running out of gas here, so I think we're going to have to just start drawing cards here. Draw 2, discard a card. Okay. Throw away, I guess, the island. Dang, we didn't really get anything out of that. That's kind of awkward. Oop. Okay, now 23. Still nothing from our opponent yet. Arcane Signet coming back down. Do you pay the 1, opponents? Sneaky Toilet. Welcome, my fiery friend. Thanks again for joining us today. Hopefully you're having a wonderful day wherever you're at. Yo, my dude. How's it going? Well, you can see us right now trying to just kind of go off with Taigam here. We are trying to chain together some free spells. We'll see if our opponent lets us do it, though. Fell. Okay. Do you... Okay, withdraw a card. Yes. Oh, here we go. Oh, blink of an eye. So we're going to bounce back Taigam. Sorry, opponents. Put it into my hand. Your card spell. Card draw does not do anything. We'll destroy that. Too bad, opponents. It's coming together, everybody. It is coming together. Just little by little. Billable. Yawn. Well, I guess it's not the most exciting thing to see mono blue just do mono blue things, so that's fair. I mean, if I would ask Billable, since you're here, my fiery friend, what do you enjoy? I do enjoy, actually, we'll have to scry here. Okay, here we go. So we got some stuff coming up here. Let's put the Ether Spell Bomb up there. Okay. Like, if you're saying yawn, what colors are you into, or what kind of stuff are you interested in seeing? Let me know. Is there a different color or a combination you enjoy preferably? Okay, they chose Phyrexian. Are they going to add the Ether Spark to here? Okay, that's fine. Okay, nothing yet. Okay, they get to put counters on stuff. We'll bounce this away eventually, so that's not a problem for us. Children is our bigger threat here. We'll draw a card. Thank you, opponents. Counterspell that. Gotta keep her off the field as much as possible. Okay. Archmage's Charm. We will cast this. Thank you, opponent. I'll take that. I just took their Ether Spark and the Frog Lizard. That's what we wanted to do. All right. Archmage Eternus now gets copied. There we go. Now we're really starting to cook here. All right, so there we go. And then we'll wait a turn. I can't believe we stole the Frog Lizard. Thank you, opponents. So there you go, everybody. That's the power of just chaining spells together here. Sure, opponent, you can play the One Ring. That's okay. I don't mind. It is ours, but we will get it back soon. Sneaky Toilet, show him the tokens Planeswalkers. No yawning there. Cool, but I'm used to playing against mono blue. Oh, okay. I see. To be fair, I mentioned this earlier, but I'm not usually a mono blue player. I just kind of did it because I'm trying to play a variety of stuff, mostly stuff that I don't typically play with. So that is fair, though. Opponent here, trying to steal our stuff. How dare they try to steal our extra turn spells? That's okay. We can still get around it. All right. Opponent here is now trying their best to just go off. Are they going to bring down Shieldred again? Maybe. Limited free will. Just need random snowlands to unyawn. Oh, okay. I mean, I guess that's true. We didn't really consider that at all. So that's something to look at in the future. Okay. Okay, opponent blew up our Taigam. That's okay, though. We still have plenty of lands, so that's not a problem for us. Okay. Ether Spark. Does give them... They managed to still take advantage of this, though, but that's okay. We can turn off Shieldred in a second here. If we just untap for a turn. Okay, so they just destroy our Eternus. Shame, but that's okay. See, stealing is nice. No, it is not nice, Densplinit. Stealing is wrong, especially when it comes to games like this. That's okay. I mean, to be fair, we're both myself and my opponents, we're both playing kind of degenerate decks because I'm trying to chain together free stuff. My opponent is just trying to steal stuff. I mean, like, okay, so who is the more degenerate deck? I guess maybe that's the question I should probably be asking. Okay. So with that, thank you. I'll take back my One Ring. Thank you very much. So let's see. We'll put down another island. Taigam's coming back. And then from here, we will One Ring. All right. From there, Ether Spell Bomb. And with the Frog Lizard, they go down to 17. And we're protected for a turn. Okay, so we do lose some stuff, but that's okay. Not the worst. It's still awkward, though. They're in control of their own card, but we still were in control of the lizard itself, so that's kind of interesting how that works. Okay, Taigam back now to 6. Valgavoth. Ugh, jeez. Okay, we got to find a way to get around him. We'll try, everybody. We're going to try. They put the Ether Spark on him. Okay. Suspend's still doing its thing. Oh, here we go. Okay, so this is good for us. So, we need now... Activate. Draw a card. Okay, so we got the mana drain, which is nice. Okay. Do we do this now? Yeah, we'll just do it now. Get an extra turn spell. Draw a card. Okay, Hullbreaker Horror will be nice. No attacks now. There we go. Some more stuff here. Okay, so with that, we'll play Taigam. And I guess we'll not attack yet. Draw 2. Okay, so I think we have a way out of this. I think we do. Alright, so let's see. Okay. Take that back. And then, let's see. If we do this, I have to sacrifice 3 non-land permanents. Okay. That's the only awkward part, but I think we can still pull this off here. Okay. I think this is the turn to do it. So this does all trigger off. Okay. I think we can pull this off here. Okay. 3, 2, 1. Or at least that gets rid of the One Ring, so we can't kill ourselves just yet. But I think we might be able to do this here. Maybe. We're going to try. Mesmeric Orb. Oh, come on, opponents. Let's see. Let's see. Den Splendid. They're going for free stuff, I guess. Sneaky Toilet. It's a close battle between blue and black for most degenerate. That is a tough question, though. Yes, I do agree, though. I mean, I'll give it this, though. The deck is, on an upgraded version here, pretty strong. So, at least it's doing its thing. And then... let's see. Oh, man, we really wanted to get... okay, that's fine. It's actually okay. I realize now we can still pull this off here. Okay, well, over on Instagram saying, I hate people stealing my cards. Yeah, I do too. Don't like it, but that's okay. We can still make this work. Archmage Turnus, so... there we go. We're going to start bouncing stuff back. Bounce back. Okay, that goes back to their hand. We then opt. And then... it's our... let's see. No attacks yet. We will then opt again. Bouncing stuff back. Wait, hold on. What do we want to bounce, actually? Do we auto pay for this? Nah, decline. They get to draw a card too. That's okay. So the idea right now I'm trying to do is I want to try to get memory going so I can kind of just force them to bounce things. Draw a card. And then we will foretell this. Pass. Okay, opponents. Okay, so they do get to mill away with Valgavoth, so that helps us out a little bit here. Ow, this is definitely a grindy match here, but at least the deck does show it is capable of grinding itself out. Roaming Throne. Ooh, okay. Another powerful card, Phyrexian. Chromatic Lantern, okay. Our opponent is being very careful here because they definitely want... okay, so we slip out the back. We will do it this way. Bounce that back. Sorry, opponents. Denied. Bounce back to their hand. So at least this... so with Hullbreaker Horror out, at least that gives us a little bit of time to work with here. So this does help us out. Oh, wait. There we go. Here we go. Okay. Okay. A lot of Mesmeric Orbs, but that's okay, everybody. We're fine. We're fine right now. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So I'm trying to think right now. I think we can pull this off. So 6 there, 9 there. Okay. I think we're set here. I think we're set. So here's how we do this. Narset. Bounce that away. Okay. And then... oh, actually, hold on one sec. We'll do it this way. Oh my god, I can't believe I pulled this off right here. Okay, so Roaming Throne back. We'll play the 2. Back to their hand. Draw a card. Doesn't really matter though because everything gets shuffled in. Yes, we did it. And then we locked them out with Narset. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, I feel so dirty right now. I feel so dirty about this. They don't get any cards. They get like 1 card. Okay. Now we will tick up. And, okay, we'll get that Dispel. Okay. Nice. All right. Down to 7. I can't believe I pulled that off. Oh my goodness, I feel so dirty right now. Wow. There you go, everybody. See? The deck can definitely do some stuff here. Now, if we could just maintain this momentum for 1 more turn, I think we got the win here. Oh, man, this is the sweetest one so far. After this, though, I mean, if we lose for the remainder of the stream, that's fine with me. Because at this point, I mean, there's not really anything else I really care about at this point. We got what we needed, so this is actually good for us. All right, so... actually, I'll just resolve all these. Okay. Ashiok for the win. Damn, got into a grind of a match. Okay, well, hopefully, yeah, you got your wins. That's good. Sneaky Toilet. Have you ever done an Insidious Roots deck? I feel like a budget one could be right up your alley. We actually have done a couple of decks that use Insidious Roots. We had a basically deck last year that was super budget, used no rares or mythics, and that one actually got a lot of views, so people like that one. And then our last deck, our Sultai Dredge one, that also used Insidious Roots too. But yeah, maybe we might look at just a deck that focuses on that token game plan completely. But until then, okay, so I'm going to feel really dirty right now. So here we go. Overload on the Cyclonic Rift. We don't even need to do this, but we'll do it anyway. All right. Bounce everything back, opponents. Back to your hand. The whole board is clear. Whatever your last card is, it doesn't even matter. Because we got the victory here. Yes! Victory with the Hullbreaker Horror. Wow, what an all-star card that was. Oh, man, that was so beautiful. We came in clutch right there. We actually got that combo off of Narset into just reshuffling everything and just kind of locking them out. Oh, man, that was the clutch right there. Wow, what a victory there. Oh, man. Woo! So glad we got that one, though. We managed to pull that off there. Wasn't exactly the Taigam win I wanted, but I will take it. That was a good one. A testament to show you the deck, with a little bit of upgrading, definitely can hold its own against some of the more degenerate stuff out there. I mean, let's be real, though. I was a little degenerate myself for pulling that off, but hey, we got to do what we got to do. Lots of GGs for that one. Yes, thank you, everybody, for that one. Thank you for that. Appreciate it. Okay, so just giving everybody a heads up right now, we're looking at about... excuse me. We're looking at about probably 30-ish minutes left in the stream. I know we do short streams, but I do remind everybody about that because, again, as much as I enjoy streaming with all y'all, again, just got to take care of big boy stuff, got other obligations this little fireball has to do, and also, I actually haven't eaten today yet, and I'm getting a little hungry. So I do want to at least try to get that going. So just giving everybody a heads up right now of how much time we have left, but thank you everybody for still hanging in there. We're going to do this again for a little bit longer here, and then we will see if we can get a couple more wins in. Maybe like 1 or 2 more would be great. All right, we'll play with our island there. All right, so our opponent is playing Tevel, the balance scale. I haven't seen anybody play this yet. So the Spirit Dragon from Tarkir. Okay, when they attack, they mill cards. They can bring back lands back. Okay. Okay, so they're basically going to be just a graveyard shenanigans deck, so we'll see if we can get around that. We'll foretell that now for later. A surprise tool that we can use later. You're up for a duel, you say? Okay. Let's see. Well, we'll see if we have time for that. First off, we got to ramp for a bit. Okay, the midnight clock is going to start ticking down. So this might help us out a little bit later on by shuffling things later. Thankfully, we also have a time warp ready to go. Tevel's coming in now. All right, opponent. No fear. They're just like, I'm wanting to go. Okay, got another island. That's good. So, with that, Taigam coming down. We will... Actually, hold on one second. We will have to wait for a second here. Can't do it just yet. If we can get at least one more land, this might be sweet. This might be sweet. We just want 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So yeah, one more land. It's a DC. They mill 3. Get a zombie. We will tap that down. So they can't attack yet. Okay. Come on, deck. Give me a land. Oh, this is beautiful here. Okay, so this is what we want to do. So, shore up. Not for any real value, but realistically, time warp time. Thank you. I'll take an extra turn, opponents. All right, and then no attacks. Yeah, we just want to start chaining stuff together here. I'll take another turn here, and then we'll put that down. Treasure Cruise. Slip it at those two. Okay, there we go. And then, okay, slip out the back on that. There we go. That gets out of the way. No attack still. We're just trying to just chain stuff together here. So now we have a time warp coming down quick. That's when it challenged you ahead of time. Okay, I see it. I see it. I see it. Okay, Overlord of the Bilmerk. Opponent is still trying to do their mill thing. I don't know if it was a good idea to give him a +1/+1 counter, but we'll see if that helps us out a little bit. Sneaky dude, I'm not lying. I've won so many games off of High Noon, you gotta abuse the card more. We haven't, yeah, you're right. You know what? We haven't actually played with that card all that much. Maybe, we'll see if we can try to get in maybe next week on stream, because there is a couple of decks that I want to do. Like, there's a Boros Control deck I want to do, but there's also one of the hottest decks right now in Standard right now that's just going nuts right now with, is it Prowess? Those are the two decks I'm looking at possibly doing on the next week's stream, so we'll see how that goes. I know also we're coming up very quickly on Final Fantasy. I know some people not too fond of that, but I am, and hopefully that's going to be something good for us. All right, we're probably going to have to do this now. Outruns Epiphany. Get an extra turn. Enter tapped. Attacks yet. Getting all the stuff chaining off here. Okay. Island. Poppet Stitcher. And then I guess we have to do this here now. Sacrifice a token. Actually, hold on. Wait, no. Let's see if we try to chain something together here. Okay. Get another Swift Boots out. No attacks yet. Opponent is getting close to the end here. So, I mean, we ran out of action, but I don't know if this is going to be enough for us. Okay, opponent, what else you got? Billable. I don't even sub to you, but your live stream was in my recommended for some reason, so YouTube algorithm doing some work today. Yeah, that YouTube algorithm doing interesting things, I'll say that. Mysteries of the YouTube algorithm. It works in mysterious ways. Not sure how it works, but you just kind of try to appease it in hopes that maybe it'll like you. Okay, you're a mono blue monk versus Nightmare Planeswalker. Interesting matchup. All right. You know what? Maybe I'll be game for that after this. We'll see if we can get this going, because this match might look like it's a bit of a wash. All right. Opponent is doing their milling. Mill, mill, mill. If we can survive a turn, we can at least get to another time warp, and maybe, just maybe, we can go off here. Okay, so how do we block all this and not die? That's the biggest question right now. Okay, so that's there. Block here. 6, 12. Take out a token at least. Okay. Survive for 1 turn. Literally down to 2. Ugh. Not good. Our opponent is completely tapped out, though. Our only hope right now would be something that just bounces away everything. A Cyclonic Rift would be great right now. But I don't think we're going to have that kind of luck. Okay. Midnight Clock. Time Warp does its thing. So at least we get 1 extra turn to help us out here. We'll see if that's enough for us. Okay. Counter. Counter. Alright, so. Reshuffle everything. We draw. Okay, so with that, did we get anything that can help us out here? Okay. Still got the time warp going. Taigam. Make a copy of the amulet. Okay, everything's tapped out, but we can't really attack. So, hard turn again. Come on, deck. Slip out the back. I don't even know what we're putting this on, but okay. Okay. Narset. Let's see here. Just have to draw 2 cards. Going off again. Draw 2. Jeez, we're actually coming up flat here. Okay, come on. 1 more shot here. anything.
Present and keep an open
Okay, we got the Cyclonic Rift, but maybe a little too late there. Oh, jeez. Wow. All right. Dang. We did not get there, by the way. I tried. Oh, man. We actually got the Cyclonic Rift, but it's just one turn too slow. Like, we literally have everything else going right here, but... Yeah. Dang. Okay. Because we can... Let's see. I mean, is there really anything out we can do out of this? No, we can't. Okay. Dang. I was trying to think, like, okay, there's no way we can calculate our way out of this, can we? Sir Conrad. I mean, the best I could do here is Tevel. If only the tokens could actually chump block instead of being decayed, that might have saved us. Maybe. But it's just not enough. Alright. Once we're done here, Dense Planet, I'll have you face me. Dang. I was really excited to see. Wow, we came so close here. We almost stabilized with what we had here. Step back. Lose our creature there. Yep, put that back to command zone. Transform. Resolve. Resolve. So close, everybody. Well, we tried. We tried. The hope was, again, just to survive one more turn there, and then we could just start doing our thing, but we can't block all these tokens. Dang. The Decayed really kind of messed with us here. But okay, it's fine. I'll concede to that one, opponents. So, oh well. It happens. Not a big deal. We came very close, though. Man. Just, again, if we only just had a little bit more mana, or at least got one turn sooner, that Cyclonic Rift could have saved our bacon there. But that's okay, everybody. In any case, we have a fiery friend that's going to be joining us now, and we're going to be facing off against him to see how well our deck does against someone else. So with that... Alright, so I see you are ready to go, Dense Planet, so we're going to be playing... I'll play the upgraded one, so... You okay with that one? Do you want the upgraded one, or do you want the budget version? Either way, I'm ready for you. We'll give Dense Planet here a moment to make his decision if he wants to play the cheap version or the expensive version. And then while we're doing that, once again, everybody, if you do like any of the content that we do, please like, follow, and subscribe wherever you watch the content. You can see all of my socials are hanging out just above, or at least to the side of this little fireball here. If you haven't already done so, you can, of course, join the Patreon. Oh, any, you say? Okay, that's fine. Well, again, in that case, then we're going to go all out here. But again, yes. And even if you don't want to do any of that stuff for free, you can just simply join the Discord that you see the link in the chat. So you can just join our growing group of fiery friends. But either way, just your support right here of just watching us today is really what I appreciate. So thank you again one more time, everybody, for being here today. All right, so we are taking on our fiery friend here who's got Ashiok Nightmare Muse. Can we beat him?
It's time to do.
All right, so let's see. Kings this for one. We will get an island out and go. All right, what do you got? Swamp, Cold Steel Heart. All right. He is ramping. At some point, again, possibly before we get to Final Fantasy in a couple weeks, everyone, I will arrange another day where we can just do nothing but matches against viewers. So let me know if you're interested in being a part of that down the line. We'll make sure I will announce that, of course, on Discord and across all my socials for those of you that want to participate and face me against any deck you want. Any deck you got, I will take you on. Okay, so with that, well, now that we know what our opponent's trying to do here, we got to throw this down now, so we don't want to lose that. Okay, Dense Planet, what do you take? What you stealing away from us? To throw away our temporal manipulation, of course. Extra turn spell. Gotta go bye-bye. We'll draw a card, thank you. Alright, so Den Splendor now is going to start making tokens. But is that going to be enough? Okay, Arid Archway. Bounce back our island. Sapphire Medallion. Cheapens everything else. So with that, we will... Let's see here. Actually, I'll go bye-bye. Gotta go back to your hand, my friend. Okay, so that does buy us a little bit of time. The exiles are graveyard, that's okay. Okay, can our fiery friend Den Splinit rally back against us here? Does he pay the 1? He does, okay. He makes another Nightmare token. He swings. We will start losing some of our exile cards, okay. Annoying, but that's fine. Alright, with that... Taigam. And then... Put ourselves there for that much, that's okay. Narset. We'll exile her, but make a copy of her.
I know 88 ways to defeat.
Tick down.
Hone your prowess.
Wow. Ugh. We actually fizzled? That's awkward. It's okay. Swiftfoot Boots instead. Okay. That Ashiok is going to be a problem if we don't get rid of it soon. Let's try. It's going to be tricky, though, but we can. Bonus Vortex. Okay. Do you pay the 1 still? I never thought I'd be that person, but okay. Go for the throat. We'll get a card draw off of that at least. So, annoying. That's fine. Put it back into our command zone. Swinging, swinging. All our cards are getting exiled. Joy. You always do like to just do little dirty things like that. Put the island down. Round 2 with Taigam. Murmuring Mystic. Exile that. Okay, so at least we can block for a little bit with 1 Murmuring Mystic. But we definitely need some card draw here, as much as possible. Okay, more exiling. Wow, you just really like that stuff, don't you? 1 block. Okay, we just need to start making tokens or start bouncing away things, because that's otherwise we're not going to survive much longer here. Okay, Murmuring Mystic, suspending, Narset also. Okay, so we got the. Okay. Let us Symmetry Sage. Put the boots there. Okay, well, I guess this is better than nothing. Okay, nothing yet. Nothing. Okay. So in that case, we'll move it there. Pass. Okay, so Den Splendor's got 2 cards in hand. We got 1 card in hand. Can we mount a comeback? Intimidation campaign. Do you pay? He does. Okay. So in that case, Okay, we get pinged. They gain some life. Okay. So let's see. Our friend, I think our friend here pretty much has the upper hand, which is unfortunate for us. So you can see right here, he's going to try to do some more exile shenanigans. I forgot to see that message there. K-Wall MTG also, I know you asked earlier. What do you usually play? I usually like to play a lot of red decks, aggro decks. I like to play a lot of creature decks that are focused on like specific like creature types. So those are actually my things I like. Sorry if I didn't get a chance to ask you that earlier. So okay, maybe we can draw a card here. Okay, so they cast spells, but they have to pay at least the 1. So we'll draw a card off of that. So this might help us, maybe. Card. Draw another card. Okay, so they got their own Murmuring Mystic down. We can try to go off here. Okay, making some bird tokens. Oh, you're no fun. Okay, paying the one again. They commit a crime. So we lose our token there. Okay. Alright. Steal. No wonder you wanted to play against our mono blue deck. Of course we're going to try to steal all of our extra turn spells. How dare you. I feel betrayed, by the way. Super betrayed here. But okay. If by some miracle we can survive here, maybe we might have a clean shot. But I don't think he's going to let us do it. Okay. Joy. Alright. We will have to block here. There's just one. Down to 5. Okay. So at this point, I think our fiery friend here has defeated us. Alright.
All your fears are given.
Oh, you're just no fun. Okay. I'll concede it. I'm calling it there. Because honestly, we don't really have anything else to stop you, so... Good game, my fiery friend. I will take that L. Yeah. Even against you, I know we had a good game there, so that was a good game, but still, just don't like my stuff being stolen. Just not fond of that at all. But how about this? Okay, did you want to do one more? I think I have enough time for just one more game. So, win or lose against my fiery friend here. If you want to, we can do one more game. And that'll be it for today, everybody. After this one, we'll then go on to talk about the deck overall, how we feel, good, bad, whatever. We'll kind of give a little bit of an idea of what's to come down the line. Yeah, your ultimate was the cincher right there. Once you got that off, I was pretty much... That was it for me. I had nothing to stop you. Because most of my other spells that I had in hand didn't do anything until I drew into stuff with Ristic Study. So, well done. But yeah, did you want to do one more? Otherwise, I will just jump into one more random one against a random opponent, though. I'll give him a moment here. All right. So yeah, we're nearing the end of the stream, everybody. Because, of course, I got other things I got to take care of. But again, we'll be doing this again very soon. I'm looking at possibly... It'll most likely be Wednesday. It's going to be probably our best day, of course, to stream again. If you want to, let me know when you're ready. Go ahead, hit the challenge, and then I'll jump on to face off against you. One more match. One more. I don't want to deal with that Ashiok deck. Show off the Elspeth deck. Let me see how that goes. I'm actually curious. Oh, and of course I did forget to mention this also. For those of you that are interested and you do like maybe the decks we did play today, I will of course leave at the end of the stream. Later on, I'll update the details on YouTube and across other socials, the entire deck list, so anybody can copy and paste it. Maybe you like what we play exactly. Maybe you have an idea of what this can take you to do something of your own, and I'll definitely leave those in the details below. All right, so this is our final one, everybody. Win or lose against our fiery friend, no matter what happens, this is it for us today. All right, let's see. Can we finish this with a victory? We will find out right here.
It's time.
Bring it on, my fiery friends. All right, so start off with Rivendell. All right, he's playing Elspeth right here. We'll see if we can get around this lovely planeswalker. Excuse me. Opponent. Ossification. Joy. Alright, trying to get stuff off the field. Play another island, we'll play Poppet Stitcher. Little by little, we will find our value. Minimus containment. Okay. Opponent really does not want us to do our thing here, but that's okay. Homunculus Horde. And we will pass. Alright, so we have to sacrifice the Stitcher here to turn it into something we might need. okay. Okay, he's doing the heir apparent shenanigans. We'll see if we can get around that. Another island. Taigam. Start copying. Alright. Copies are coming. No attacks yet. So, Dense Planet here is going to try to start going off with the heir apparent here. We'll see if his game plan works.
I will turn. Join the fight.
Okay, nothing yet. Suspend starts doing its thing. And then let's see here. Midnight Clock. We'll draw 2 cards. Draw 2. Alright, there we go. Another island. No attacks yet. So the Midnight Clock might be able to help us out here. Maybe. We'll see if we can get around things. Cookie over on Instagram there. Infernoman, how you doing? I'm doing great. Thanks again for asking. Thanks again for joining us, my fiery friend. Hopefully you're having a wonderful day wherever you're at. We're about to see, however, we're facing against Dense Planet, and he is overrunning us with a bunch of tokens. But we'll see if we can try to get around this. Maybe. Okay, Blast Zone. That might be helpful. Okay, Archmage Turnus. And we will pass here. Okay, counters are countering up. Solar Transformer. Alright. Let's see. Get some energy off. Okay. At this point, he definitely has more than enough to get around us, but we're going to see if we can try to do this. Oh, come on. You're no fun. Alright, so. Okay. Alright, so. Swinging away here. Heir apparent guys. Take it aggro. He thinks he has us. We'll see if we can try to get around it. You can do it. Let's go. Well, thanks again for the encouragement. We'll try, though, but right now it's not looking too hot. He definitely has the edge against us. All 3. Okay. Prof's Edict Memory. We'll exile a copy of that. Draw a card. 7. Okay. So, Elspeth goes bye-bye. At the very least, she's now down, but we are now wide open. So if he's got anything right now, we are done. Ganthor over on YouTube here. Thanks again for joining us, my pirate friend. Hopefully you're having a wonderful day wherever you're at. Do you have a deck list for this? It will be coming as soon as we're done here, because we just got completely wrecked. But that's okay. We were just having fun between friends here. All right. GG's, my fire friend. Well done, Dense Planets. Your deck, of course, using the heir apparent. Totally not original. That's okay, though. Seriously, though, I have fun with that one. Still, very well done. Even though I wasn't fond of getting beat there twice over, but that's okay. I still appreciate the matches, just it's the same. So, that's pretty much going to be it, everybody. I know some of you just joined in right now, so I do apologize for that. But again, I got to take care of other things today, so this will be us wrapping up the stream in a bit. But here how we go for a second here. So, our basically cast 1, get 1 free deck. That was it, everybody, for the past couple hours here. And you tell me in the comments below, what do you think? Would you play this deck in any way, shape, or form? To be honest, I don't know. It's kind of hard for me to evaluate the budget one. I want to like it, but it seemed like we kind of fumbled a little bit in some matches. But we did have a lot of matchups where it did not perform very well at all. So it's kind of hard to evaluate how really the deck kind of felt overall. Cookie, what happened to... Haha, you should have used the Blast Zone. I mean, I guess I could have used the Blast Zone, but it wouldn't have stopped the tokens all that much. We honestly only could have just blocked, and we would have lost our commander too. So yeah, I don't know if it was a... I don't know if it was a good choice or or a bad choice on my end to not use the Blast Zone, but it's all good though. Either case, going back to the deck tech right here, yeah, it's okay. I don't know if I would play the budget version again, but I will say this though. If I had to pick, definitely the upgraded deck felt a lot better. And I know usually it's pretty easy to say, well, yeah, any upgraded deck feels good. But this one specifically felt like it was definitely, you definitely need to invest a little bit more to make this deck effective. Mostly because you definitely want to start cheapening the cost of your more higher expensive spells. You want more card draw in the deck, and that's what the upgraded one does. You at least got to see, at least in a couple matches, the deck could definitely go off once we have some key pieces going. And there are definitely some key pieces that really helps makes the deck a lot more hilarious. Cards like Hullbreaker Horror, if you can get this out, really kind of helps kind of turn momentum back into your favor. Combo sets like such as using Ristic Study, which I know some people don't like, but it is here and we are going to take advantage of it. But otherwise, other things that help you out. Cyclonic Rift really helps keep Taigam from getting completely overrun by go wide strategies. Or other cards that will help you definitely kind of survive a little bit longer will be your extra turn spells. Your Commit to Memory, shuffling that back in with the Narset combo, man, that actually managed to work out today. So I was really glad we got that on stream today. But seriously, you kind of want to, I guess the best way I would say this is this deck feels really good if you know how to sequence your cards. So you got to really know the ins and outs of your deck and know what you want to copy, because that other sort of copy will be great, but it will be 4 turns away. So that sometimes for some players feels like an eternity. So just be aware of that if you're playing this deck. I definitely would recommend this if you're a mono blue player. Maybe you just like the idea of chaining together stuff. So this is actually really fun. Maybe someone out there might find a better version than the one I put together today. Either way, that's pretty much going to be it for today, everybody. One more time, I will leave, when I have a little bit of time later today, I will leave a link for both deck techs, both the regular and the upgraded one, in the details for YouTube. Or if you're watching across any of my socials, they'll all be copies of that for any of you to take down. Otherwise, before we go, and of course, as always, those of you stuck around this far into the stream, my true fire friends, thanks again for that. So to give you an idea of what we're going to be doing coming up, so we're going to have Teamer Landfall. This will be dropping Tuesday morning. So we'll have that. We already have a preview video that I kind of did, my hot predictions that I have for Final Fantasy. That's going to be coming out Monday morning. So that short is already done and ready to go. After that, Prowess Power is something I'm looking at doing because this is literally the hottest deck right now in Standard. I know some people are absolutely sick of it already, but I kind of want to see if I can rank up a little bit. So we're going to do an actual ranked kind of gameplay for most likely Wednesday. And then Friday, I'm not sure what I want to do Friday yet, but I think I have a Boros build that I kind of want to play around with that might use the mobilize ability. But we'll see. We're going to play around with things a little bit here and there to see what works best for us. Otherwise, the only other further thing down the line will be a Jeskai Prowess deck. So this is going to be our final of the 5 clans. This will be a future deck tech in about mid-May. So this will be coming out later on. Otherwise, we have time for other things in the future. Kind of really depends on where we're going and what we're going to see preview-wise from Final Fantasy, because that is going to be previewing very soon for us. And hopefully, that'll bring us a lot of exciting cards for us to play with once we get to the summer for the game. But otherwise, that's pretty much it for today, everybody. Thank you one more time to everybody who did show up today for the stream. Everybody that did. So try to see if I can give as many shout outs as possible. So Double Jerry Pie, I don't know if you're still there anymore. You're probably still working, but thanks again for that. Den Splendid, and as always, my fiery friend and all-star. Thanks again for joining us today. Sorry, one more time for this. Apologize. Whoa. Let's see. Okay, I'm going to do this. Wojasek. Wozek. I'm sorry, I butchered that so hard. But yeah, my fiery friend over in Poland there, thanks again for joining us today for a little bit there. Thank you for that. And of course, some of the others that showed up, Sneaky Toilet as always, Billable, you were here for a limited free will, and a couple others that kind of showed up a little last minute here. Ganthor over on the Instagram side here, Magic Nostalgia, Play Nice MTG, Koala MTG, thanks again for joining us as well. Cookie, of course, and Alkin159, all of you. If I did miss anybody, I do apologize for that, but I should think I've gotten everybody today. So otherwise, those are my shout outs for all of you that did show up today for today's stream. Thank you one more time. But again, we'll be doing this again very soon next week with another set of exciting decks that I'm sure all of you will look forward to watching me play with. Otherwise, the only final thing I do want to say is just remember that no matter what you do play in the game of life, always be sure to burn bright. We will see you again on Wednesday. Later.